My name is Bart Jaworski. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Group 11. I'm a geologist and ex-mining analyst, 25 years experience in the industry. We started the company in 2015, and the vision we had at that time really was to discover Ireland's next big zinc deposit. Ireland is well known for its world-class zinc deposits. The good news is that we have made a discovery. It is the most significant discovery in Ireland in the last decade or so. It is silver rich, you'll have note, so it's not just zinc, but it's also lead. We're punching way above our weight in terms of silver, and we're getting a bit of copper in there as well. A little bit of a question for you, a factoid. How long do you think it took us to go from concept to actual discovery hole? It just kind of shows you the scarcity of these things. It took us 7 years, 100 drill holes, and about $20 million to get there. So it was a long, long grind, but worth it in the end. We are Glencore owned. We're also Michael Gentile owned. So we have an interesting relationship with Glencore in that, a bit of a trifecta really. They are our next door neighbor, they're our largest shareholder, and they sit on the board. And that's Gatlin there that you see. He's a lawyer, but also a geological engineer based out of Toronto. Michael, that was big news for us a few months ago. He was our second largest shareholder for a number of years, and only just recently decided to come on the board, which is fantastic news. He's a great guy, has a big following, and really, really pleased to have him on the board. Basically, he thought, you know what, you guys are matured enough. The discovery you've made is looking real. I'm happy to join the board now, so it's fantastic news for us. We also have Dan McInnes, who's a geologist, longtime mining executive, Mag Silver Association. Brendan Cahill, who's a lawyer, longtime mining executive as well. Alessandro Battaglia, who's a chartered accountant, longtime mining executive, associated with the Lundin Group of companies. David Furlong there, he's the co-founder with me, Irish geologist, Mark Holdstock, Dr. Mark Holdstock, who's actually helped discover some of the largest zinc deposits in Ireland. Great to have him on the team as well. And then Janine Webb over in Vancouver as our CFO. A little bit about the team there. Cap structure. So what's the market cap? We're roughly 40 to 45 million market cap. What's the cash position? We're 2.7 million, but we're just finishing up a $2.5 million financing. So we're well cashed up. Like I said, Glencore and Michael Gentile, about 17% of the company each. Our share price performance has been good. We've outperformed a good few of our peers, I guess. This is a 15-month chart. The news release that really did it for us was that number one on the left-hand side there. Basically, we had the discovery. We started to step out 160 meters, 5 holes, all mineralized. 4 of them were all gangbuster grades, and the market really started to pay attention to us. And that allowed us to raise $3 million late 23. That really paved the way for a transformational year of exploration, which we've had. So let's get into the discovery. It's called Ballywire. It's in the south of the country. It's within the Irish ore field. So that circle there, those green stripes are the main mineralizing trends of Ireland. And I'll just zoom in on that area. So the first thing to note is that everything you see in blue there is Glencore. Everything in yellow is South 32. Our central ground is called Stone Park there, and actually this is a deposit that we have called Stone Park. 5 million ton deposit, roughly 11.3%. It's pretty high grade, especially relative to the global average of zinc deposits out there right now, which is about 6% zinc and lead. But this is the interesting thing. It's right beside Glencore's Palace Green deposit. So the two are basically neck and neck with each other. And we do have an interesting target that it looks like the lookalike. It's the lookalike to Glencore's Palace Green deposit on the south side of the Limerick volcanic complex. So this is a bit of an aside. It's a conceptual target, but I think it's one of the best targets in Ireland to find something that could be really, really huge, because we already have 50 million tons between Stone Park and Palace Green, basically facing us on the opposite side of this circular volcanic feature. Geology identical on the north side and the south side. The only difference is the north side's seen a lot of exploration, whereas the south side has seen none. And we were really the first guys to start drilling this target. So we did a bit of drilling there before Christmas. We'll have news out on that hopefully by the end of the quarter. So that's a conceptual target. The actual discovery that we've made, however, is here on the 100% owned ground that we have. It's at the intersection of 2 mineralizing trends, the Palace Green corridor and the Rathdowney trends, where those two meet basically, is that yellow box that you see there. And note that it's only 20 kilometers away from Glencore's Palace Green deposit, so i.e. within trucking distance. Very important to keep that in mind. So now I'm gonna just jump into that yellow box. This is basically as it was back in 1997, just to demonstrate There was no drilling in the green area. That's our target horizon. There was, however, a historic hole here. These guys came very close to making this discovery. They got 2.5 meters of 6% zinc and lead with a half-meter slug of massive sulfide, but they kind of followed it in the wrong direction. There was some drilling there. Those open circles are holes that were too shallow to have hit the target horizon, so they're meaningless. They came back again, got some copper-silver numbers in 2008, they did one last hurrah, they drilled a hole, got some good results, but again, nothing to offset the great financial crisis. They got wiped out, and this all became open ground for many, many years. And we came along in 2016, 8 years later, and we basically drilled our first hole 3 years after we did some homework. We got 3 meters of 4%, not too bad. That was actually some of the best holes we've ever got. Up to that point. And 2 years after that, this is where we first started to hit a bit of fire. 3 meters of 12% zinc and lead with 48 grams of silver. And in that, importantly, was a half-meter slug of massive sulfide, just like that hole from 97. That got us excited because we thought, wow, what if those two are connected? They're 1 kilometer apart. That would be exciting. So let's drill 300 to 400 meter step outs and see the lay of the land. So the first hole, it actually hit okay mineral, but nothing great. Again, second hole is okay, not great. Third one started to get a bit better, and then bang, we got our discovery hole. 60-meter zone, in that was 11 meters, roughly 10 meters of 10% with 100 grams silver. So fantastic hole. Within that was 2 meters of 41%, nearly 400 grams per ton silver. So really, really nice. And then basically we drilled all up and down the section. Every single hole hits massive sulfide mineralization. The best was at 60-meter step out to the northeast, which got another 10-meter zone of roughly 9% with 50 grams. Within that was 2.5 meters of 30% with 160 grams. So again, we're really punching above our weight for the typical Irish type zinc deposit, by the way. Typically in Ireland, you get 0, 30, maybe 60 grams per ton of silver. Here, we're consistently getting between 50 and 150 grams per ton. And I'll show you some of the better kickers, actually, they're yet to come here. So we stepped out again, another 80 meters, and we hit one of the best holes ever, 18 meters at 10%, not 100 grams per ton now, but 250 grams per ton silver, a little bit of copper showing up. And then this is the news release that really did it for us and allowed us to raise that $3 million. We stepped out 160 meters, 5 holes all hit. I'm just going to zoom in on that very quickly. And if you zoom in on that, you get this picture. 710 meters of strike at this stage. And we're getting grades like 10 meters of 8% with good silver, 3 meters of 8 with good silver, 5 meters with 12% zinc and lead, again, good silver. And our headliner was 11 meters of 9% with really good silver. So just fantastic grades. The other key thing that we started to realize at this stage is, hey, this is a very well-behaved system. It's not all over the place. It's not multiple horizons at different orientations. It's not folded. It's not faulted. It's just well-behaved. It's all one horizon at the base of the reef, at the base of the Walsroshan limestone, or the reef as it's called. So it makes it predictable for exploration. Great. It's going to be great for tonnage in terms of putting an MRE together, because we don't have to Swiss cheese it. And obviously for mineability in the future, it's going to be much more simple. So that's fantastic. Again, that's 710 meters of strike. And basically, that's how it was in April, 700 meters back to the plan view. We ran some gravity, found some anomalies. We projected the massive sulfides, and that really gave us the wherewithal to step out 930 meters with one rig, 530 meters with another rig. Very gutsy move, because these could have been duds. But lo and behold, we got 5 meters of 5% here with a half an ounce. And here we got the best silver kick in the last 60 years within Ireland. 1,400 grams per ton silver, as well as 6% copper, which we knew was a feeder. And to the north of that, we suspected there'd be a lot of massive sulfide, which there was. So the key point of that slide is now we're talking 2.6 kilometers of strike. And basically, I'm just going to fast forward to November. That was April. There was a lot of news flow in between. At this stage, we started to discern a flat-lying zinc-rich massive sulfide zone. That's that red body, as well as the higher grades. We got some of the best massive sulfide ever. We got 8.7 meters of 24% and 85 grams. And then the most recent news release, just to catch up, is just a few weeks ago. We plugged that 270-meter gap, and we got 15 meters of 11% with 122 grams per ton with a bit of copper. So if I look at the cross-section, I got 30 seconds left, but I'm going to tell you we've got a heck of a copper-silver target in here, because if you look at this, our zinc zone, the red stuff, basically there's a lot of copper-silver showing up in the feeders, and we know that's coming from down below. That's data point number one. Data point number two, the stratigraphy of the area says that 100 meters below us should be the lower limestone shale, which just happens to host 3 copper-silver deposits in the neighborhood. So you put those two pieces of information together, and the scientific information is we've got a great target down below for 100 meters. There's germanium in the system as well. I won't have time to talk about it. And we have a 6-kilometer trend defined by 4 gravity high anomalies, of which we only drilled 1. So there's a lot more for us to do. Thanks very much.